All right, let's start the first real video. Just did my intro video. If you haven't seen that, go watch that real quick. It's gonna be like maybe 8 or 10 minutes long, and it gives you an idea of what's going on. I'm Mike. Welcome to We Die Like Men. Where did I come up with the name for that? It just kind of hit me. You know, us men tend to not live as long as you ladies out there do, and if we're gonna go out, I'm gonna go out like a man. However, that happens to be for everybody's a little bit different. You know, is it guns a blazing in battle? Is it doing 100 miles an hour on your motorcycle? Whatever it is, just don't be stupid. I'd like to see us all live long, but really, mostly it's like just a fun phrase for me, anyways. If this is your first video, I do recommend you go watch the intro video. It explains that this is all my wife's channel stuff. She does football stuff. Obviously, she's a Bengals fan. I'm just a football fan, don't have a team. But I figured, a good way to get to know somebody is maybe, I brought up a thing here. It's most often asked question of men, that men get asked, apparently. And maybe it'll give a little insight into who I am, how I think, my dark, twisted sense of humor. I was a firefighter and medic, so yeah, I've got that real dark sense of humor. Military time a bit too, so there's that twisted. It was either laugh or cry, and I wasn't gonna cry, so and just go down through some of them here. What did you want your job to be when you were a kid? My dad was a firefighter. That's kind of what I wanted to do. I looked at like federal law enforcement back in the day. I graduated high school in '95, so but I don't know. I just ended up not, and I went into firefighting and other things. I've been a diesel mechanic. I was through high school. I worked for a local marina, so boats. We sold snowmobiles, ATVs. I worked on all that stuff. Lawnmowers. At one point, I worked for a place where we were the small town I grew up in. We were like the dealer for like Briggs and Stratton engines and Tecumseh engines and Toro and I can't remember Lawn Boy I think it was, and Steel or Echo wasn't Steel. Um, Lawn equipment. So I did a lot of that. I've worked passenger car stuff. I've built houses. I'm not a carpenter. I was a pretty good cabinet maker, but I was not a carpenter. I can get by, but so those were primarily my jobs. I did a little logging. Done a bunch of different stuff. So mostly that was firefighter and medic. And that's what I ended up doing. I'm medically retired now, so sucks, but it is what it is. If you could go on vacation anywhere in the world, where would you go, dude? Like Australia. I want to go to Australia so freaking bad. Just looks so good. I want to go fishing down there. Would be awesome. Um, where else? I don't know. I'm trying to think. My heritage is Irish and Scottish, so Ireland and Scotland would be high on the list. Greece, that always looked really cool. Santorini looks awesome. Somewhere like that. Maybe parts of Africa. I've always wanted to see the Sahara, the savannas across Africa. The plains out there and stuff. That would be really cool. Well, those are relationship questions. Yeah, well, I better be careful how I answer that. My wife will watch this. What's the most embarrassing thing you've ever done? Oh, good Lord, where would I even begin? I don't even know. I'll have to think on that one. Only eat one food for the rest of your life. What would it be? Cheeseburgers. Nothing beats a really good cheeseburger, but it's got to drip down your elbow. It's got to be juicy and messy. Um, oh, what would you choose? No internet ever or no TV ever? Damn. Probably no TV, because at least with the internet, I mean, does that mean I can't watch like YouTube videos? Because I don't watch regular TV, other than sports. I don't know. Probably yeah. I'd go no TV ever, because I'd have to have internet. I got to look some shit up. Deep thoughts. If you could meet one historical figure, who would it be and why? Well, other than Jesus, because that would be amazing. But let's leave him out of it because that would be like a lot of people, not everybody, I get that, but a lot of people's top thing. But like George Patton, I think it would be cool to meet him. Ben Franklin would be really funny. That would be cool. I don't know. There's so many. I love history, so I don't know. There's like they're all flooding into my head. Dr. King would be cool to talk to him. I think because there's a lot of things that I don't know. There's just some questions there because I really want to understand more about his point of view on some things. And that's not like some BS answer. I've always been fascinated by him and stuff like that. So, um, yeah, a lot of people. What would you like to be remembered for? I think, just being like a good dude, a good husband, a good father, a good brother, a good son. Um, the fact that I sacrificed a lot to help others in firefighting and stuff, and, including some serious side effects from it. So, um, yeah, it would be that. That would be cool. You know, I don't think I've really done a lot else in my life that's like noteworthy that much. What is your biggest weakness? Oh, emotions. I hate emotions. So, yeah, that's where I struggle the most. They kind of seem like a evolutionary defect that we haven't worked out yet. I know that sounds terrible, but it's just I can show emotions to my wife and kids and stuff, but other than that, if you could gain a skill instantly, what would it be? Ooh, man, I don't know. Um, no one something to help make money. Not that I'm like money hungry and greedy, but could always use more. That would be cool. Like just totally understanding like the stock market or something like that. I'm guessing they're not talking about like a superpower that you would gain. It's a skill. Um, I don't know. Maybe play an instrument. I never was very good. I could play a little bit. Keyboard, trumpet, drums a little. Dabbled with the guitar some. Never considered myself a musician. So, if your life was a movie, who would have the lead role and why? Phew, I don't know. I mean, I'd want it to be someone like Keanu Reeves, just because he's awesome, and it'd be cool to have John Wick play me, but that ain't gonna happen. Because I mean, look at me. Um, I don't know. When I was younger and Macaulay Culkin was younger, we looked a bit alike, but I don't think that would work. Samuel L. Jackson would be cool, just sometimes you need a motherfucker in your life, but that ain't gonna work. Guy's funny as hell. I don't know, man. Jeez, who would play me? That's that's freaking. I don't know. Um, let's see here. Who is your role model? My grandfather, probably my dad's dad. I was really, really close with him. Even more so than my father in the sense of role model. He had it pretty rough sometimes. He went from being pretty wealthy to dirt poor and worked himself up to being like a solid middle class, and served in World War II when he didn't have to because he had a government job. He was 26 when he enlisted and went over and fought in Europe as an infantryman. Received a Bronze Star, a Purple Heart, fought the Battle of the Bulge, crossed the bridge at Remagen, helped liberate one of the it's either a concentration camp or a POW camp. Uh, did a lot. Worked for the state of Maine, retired as a park ranger, managing state parks. Just a really good guy. Really good guy. Never graduated high school. Because when his dad died and they lost everything, a few years later, he dropped out and got a job. He was he was a tough guy, but very kind of quiet and just humble. You know, never really heard him raise his voice. Never really nothing. He was just, you know. What would you do if you won the lottery? Well, I wouldn't be telling anybody about it. That'd be friggin' stupid. Sorry, but I mean, obviously, the wife and kids and immediate family would know, but I would grab my wife, my kids, disappear for like 2 or 3 weeks somewhere where nobody knows you and nobody knows you just won all this money, some tropical island somewhere, and go, shit, now what do we do? You know? Figure that out. What's the most ridiculous talent you have? God. Pissing people off. I'm really good at that sometimes. Recalling useless knowledge and information, useless facts. I'm usually really good at, especially within certain subjects. Um, what is something you've never been good at? Oh, we ain't got enough time in this video to go over that. There's a lot of things. Your favorite animal? Dogs. My dog is sleeping right on the other side of my screen here, on the other side of the camera, basically. Um, might even be able to hear him snoring a little bit. What's on your bucket list you want to do soon? Huh? I don't know. Skydiving? I haven't done that. That could be kind of fun. I'm afraid of heights. I don't like heights. Even as a firefighter, I didn't like heights. I'd do it because it was a job, but as soon as I didn't have to be up on a roof or up high somewhere, I was down. Yeah, skydiving's probably one. I don't know. I'd like to take a ride in a fighter jet. That would be cool. That would be really cool. Favorite way to spend a weekend? On the deck with a smoker going, whole bunch of people around, good music, friends and family, cooking up great food, partying it up a little bit. That's the best weekend there is. Staying in or going out? Staying in. My days of going out, I did the bar scene, I did all that stuff. Once in a while it's nice to go out. Favorite book or author? That's two different things. My favorite book, Patton Fighting Man was great. I love historical novels. Papillon was an amazing book. Favorite author is probably Sir Arthur Conan Doyle because I love Sherlock Holmes and his movie The Lost Continent. That was a great movie, a great book. If you could have dinner with any three people, dead or alive, oh my God. Yeah, my grandfather, my dad, and my father-in-law. It'd be cool to have a dinner with all four of us. That would be cool. Biggest fear, I hate snakes. And I'm not a big fan of spiders. Not being able to breathe, suffocation is probably like being buried alive or something. Yep. How do you handle conflict in a relationship? I've been with my wife 24 years this year. It's my second marriage. I was really, really young when I got married the first time. I just say yes, ma'am. Yes, dear. Sounds great. Let's put a pin in that. We'll get right to it. Yeah. No, I just sit down and be like, hey, look, this is what I'm thinking. What are you thinking? You know, explain to me why you want to do it this way. Because to me, it doesn't sound like the best way to do it. But explain to me, because maybe I just don't understand, and that works well. Um, what's your favorite way to express affection? For my wife, I slap her on the ass as I walk by. You know, not hard. She'll just shake it. You always do that. I'm like, you always wear leggings and you got a nice ass. Sorry. What do you want me to do? Something you've always wanted to learn. And it goes back to some of the other questions, but How do you unwind after a stressful day? You know, I used to come home sometimes, and if it's just been like the normal stress, it's been, oh, and it was a rough day, a lot of physical work, a lot of mental gymnastics, and have a drink. I like Irish whiskey. Have a nice drink, and that was it. But if I came home and it had been like a really, really bad day, and I was like super stressed, pissed off, excuse me, I got the hiccups, pissed off, all that stuff, I wouldn't have a drink. I purposely would not because I didn't want it to become a crutch and be like, oh, I've got to, oh, that drink, man, I got to have that drink. It's going to make it all better. No, I did not want to get there. I've seen that happen. Now, unwind after a stressful day, uh, chilling with the family and the dog and just, or working out in the garage on something or just being, you know, just being a guy doing that stuff. Mow the lawn. Actually, I get on the lawn tractor, put my headphones on, crank up the tunes, and mow the lawn, man. That to me is stress relieving. Um, let's see. I'm trying to think. If I missed, I know I skipped over some of these. What is something everyone gets wrong about you? Um, it's two things, and it's kind of the opposites. Either I'm a super nice guy or I'm a complete asshole, and I'm in between. I would die to save a total stranger, but if I do save you and you've done something really stupid to put yourself in that position, I'm going to let you know how effing dumb you are for doing that. I have no problem telling people how stupid they are. And I have no problem with people looking at me telling me how stupid I am. And as long as you can frickin' give an example as to why, like I would give to them, and I got no problem with that. That's how you learn, for me. Um, yeah, I think that I don't care. That's the biggest thing that people will get sometimes wrong. Oh, I don't think he doesn't care. I do. Um, I just think that sometimes the best thing to do for some people is let them figure it out on their own. And if they got questions, if they ask, I'll answer them, but not butting in all the time. Favorite childhood memory? Ooh. Christmas was always really big in my family. Aunts, uncles, cousins, everybody together, or one of my aunt and uncles and their kids. Um, Things like that. So some of them, like Christmas Eve, are some of my best childhood memories. First time I went to Disney, 1984, so I was 8. That was cool. And we drove from Maine to Florida. The drive down was the best part to me, and I like Disney, I haven't been in quite a while. I ain't paying that kind of money, so. Um, what do you think is the best thing about being in a relationship? If it's a good relationship, it's having a partner to help you work through the difficult stuff, and then they're also there to share the good stuff, the good times. When something's going wrong, that person will lean on that's kind of picks you up. Come on, man, we got this. We got this. And you give it back to them. We got it. We'll get through this. And when you do, that one to high five each other, like, man, we did it. We made it through that shit. You know, just having somebody there, getting to know each other better, someone that knows you as well as you know yourself, probably, and sometimes better. And they pick up on the little things and they're like, hey, you all right? Or you seem like you need this or that. Um, yeah, stuff like that. So I think I'm gonna call that good. These are just quick little intro videos. I know it's kind of weird, but I thought it might be the best way to kind of people to get to know my personality. A little bit I probably have, and shit. So got to build up some videos to put out. So when the channel goes live, there's 5 or 6 videos to watch. And, just having fun with it, man. I don't know what's people are gonna want. I don't even know what I'm gonna probably do, and hopefully there's people that enjoy it. So, oh, what do we have here? Oh, look, it's a notification. I thought I silenced you, but I guess not. So, yeah, eventually I will either figure out how to put a different background in my videos. I used to know how, and I don't remember now. Or I will film in a different location. It's February in Maine. It's snow. It's cold, and I don't want to run the heat in the garage because I don't have much oil out there. So once it warms up, I may film out there some, like I used to. I used to have another channel a long time ago, went over other stuff. Um, and I can film that on my little Sony and do it from out there where I just feel as though sometimes it's a little better setting for these kind of videos. But this is also comfortable, awful comfortable too. I like my chair. So, all right. Until next time, behave yourself. See ya.